What is up, enthusiasts? Welcome back to another installment in my Unpopular Opinions series, where I talk about unpopular opinions I personally have when it comes to amusement parks I've been to or roller coasters I've ridden. Today we have 5 more for all of you, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Before I start, I just want you all to know that you can comment, but don't harass me or don't harass anyone else in the comments. This is mainly just for fun, even though I am stating my opinions. This isn't something too serious. It's just my opinions on fun entertainment, like amusement parks and roller coasters. So, without further ado, let's get into the 5. The first opinion I want to talk about is going to be easily the most controversial out of all of them. In my personal opinion, Kings Island as a whole is very overrated. Now, before I get into this, let me just say that I absolutely love this park. I would kill to go to that park once again because I absolutely love the coaster collection and I love the setting. But at the same time, people hype it up way too much in my personal opinion. I mean, there are people I know that rank this much higher than Cedar Point, and they say that this park is so much better than even parks like Dollywood, Disney Parks, SeaWorld Parks, and Silver Dollar City. I mean, that's a little extreme in my opinion. At the end of the day, it just seems like it's a massive chain park that's supersized. The staff is pretty average, the ride collection is pretty good as well, the coasters are pretty good too, and the setting and the theming as well, they're pretty average when it comes to a Cedar Fair park. But oh my goodness, there are some people I know that absolutely hype over this park and make people super excited for it, like it is one of the best parks in the world. And let me say, it has a great collection, it has a lot of great things to it, but at the same time, I wouldn't even consider it one of the best parks in the world. In fact, I have SeaWorld Orlando, Kings Dominion, and Hershey Park ranked over this in my list. So, even though I don't absolutely adore this park, it is one insane park, and I am excited to come back soon. For the next opinion, we are actually staying in the same park. While Kings Island isn't the best park in my opinion, I think it has an incredible coaster collection of supporting coasters. And looking at the 3 B&Ms, those could possibly be the 3 best rides in the park, barring Mystic Timbers. Now, looking at the 3 B&Ms, in my personal opinion, I think Orion is the worst out of the 3. For my second opinion, we are staying right at Kings Island to talk about the 3 B&Ms in the park. You have Orion, Banshee, and Diamondback. Now, a lot of people would say Orion is either the best or second best. Well, I would actually put Orion at the bottom of the 3. Yeah, in my opinion, Orion is the worst B&M at Kings Island, and let me explain why. Orion is a great ride, but looking at the 2 other rides, they definitely focus on what they're supposed to do a lot more than Orion does. Look at Banshee, for example. It specifies in positive G's, and oh my goodness, if you're sitting in the back few rows, it will absolutely yank you over some of those hills. When it comes to Orion, it doesn't focus as much on both positive and negative G's, and seems like it just has the big tall elements to suppose the GP. Now, it does have a lot of floater elements, but the floater isn't as strong as Diamondback, so I would definitely put Orion at the bottom of the list. Up next, we go to Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I got the pleasure to visit this park back in August, and let me just say, it has to be one of my favorite parks of all time. It has incredible charm, and an incredible setting, and some incredible staff. I mean, it truly is one amazing park. But when I came out of that park for the first time, I was pretty surprised to know that Wildcat was actually my favorite Woody out of the 4 wooden coasters there, including the 2 on Lightning Racer, and of course Comet. And, well, let me explain why. And there are 2 main reasons why. Let me just say, first, this has the most intense airtime out of all the wooden coasters in the park, at least from what I experienced. Now, I was expecting some of the others to have more intense airtime, but no, Wildcat really delivered compared to the other 3. And second off, it is not as rough as people say. I mean, I was expecting a very rough ride, and barring that first drop, it isn't that bad of a ride. Up next, we go to Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. Now, we go to the one and only Twisted Timbers, and let me just say that this ride is one of the most underrated rides I have ever ridden. It is actually my number 3 out of 92 coasters, and let me explain why. This ride is insane. I mean, you go to Steel Vengeance for the long duration and variety of elements, but if you want intensity, ride Twisted Timbers on a hot day. Now, I only went to Kings Dominion for 1 day, and it was on a 100-degree day. And let me just say, every single ride I got on Twisted Timbers was crazier to handle than I-305. And I think that's just because the transitions were so fast, and the airtime was so intense, I honestly could not believe how intense it was. I mean, run Steel Vengeance in 100-degree weather. I want to see that. But let me just say, I did not get the opportunity to ride Storm Chaser yet, and a lot of people describe Storm Chaser as I describe Twisted Timbers, so I say bring it on. My final unpopular opinion takes me back to the state of Ohio. We are back, and we rounded out this road trip, and we are stopping at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Now, I want to talk about the 4 B&Ms at this park. Remember when I said Orion was the worst at Kings Island? Well, I actually think Gatekeeper is the best at Cedar Point. And now, this is a very unpopular opinion because a few people I've heard have said that Gatekeeper is their least favorite B&M, but it is my favorite, and let me explain why. It has a lot of variety. I mean, sit in the front and you'll get a beautiful view, or sit in the back rows and you'll get a ride just as intense as Raptor. I mean, it truly has a great variety and one of the best settings on any ride in the world. I mean, you have that beautiful peninsula and the beautiful front gate of Cedar Point. What more could you ask for on a B&M? Now, despite that, it isn't one of my favorite rides at Cedar Point. Like, it doesn't match up to Millennium Force, Top Thrill Dragster, Maverick, or Steel Vengeance, but it actually makes my number 5 spot on the list. I like it over Magnum and rides like that. But anyway, that is my list. So what did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. These are my personal opinions. Criticize me peacefully in the comments below. Don't get too crazy. Don't harass anyone. Don't harass me. I do not condone that stuff. So if you're going to criticize anything, just do it in a normal way. Well, thank you guys for watching once again. This is Cedar Flags, and I'll see you all later.